Okay, welcome everyone. I just wanted to do a super quick video about some of the intricacies of Word. So sometimes what happens is students are really good at like centering and doing the 1-inch margins, but there's a few funky things some of you may have noticed that I commented on when it came to feedback for your ACDs. And so I want to make sure that if I'm saying, hey, don't format it like this, you actually know how to fix it. So I'm going to do a quick video and show you how. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. I made a fake ACD document. This should look familiar from number 1. And so you can see, I would put my name, the date. Today is what, the 29th. Okay. You can unbold these. So you would select them and just hit the B, unbold them. Okay, so sometimes what happens is when you have the numbering system, it gets a little funky when it comes to entering and indents and tabs. And so I noticed some of you had a little bit of trouble on this. You may have said enter and you said, no, I don't want a 2. This is the first question. So you hit tab and you got an A. And so you started typing, I really like this class. You don't want to do that. When it comes to APA, even if you have something that is numbered like this, you don't necessarily want to do an outline. So to fix this, what you would do is you would highlight where you're at, you're writing, then you're just going to click on numbering. That should be highlighted, and you're just going to click that, and it changes it. It removes it. So I already have the indent. Let's say for some reason it was being really weird, or I wanted to have it starting right here, which you can do. See this little button up here? It's the decrease indent. You can just do that. Then you can keep typing. Hello. Okay. Another thing to notice is when you look between these, do you see how it's even? It's 2.0, it's double spacing 2.0. There's no major gap. And yet right here, do you see something different? See how there's a huge gap between the 2 paragraphs? This is like more than just normal double spacing, right? This is like double spacing with a little extra. For whatever reason, and I tried to remove it from the document, but you may run into this occasionally, it will add an extra space in here, and you do not want this extra space. It's not APA. It looks super weird. So to get rid of that, because I know some students last semester were like, oh, I don't know how to actually get rid of it. What you're going to do is you're going to select your text. See, this is your line and paragraph spacing. You might be familiar because that's the 2.0. But for some reason, Word will sometimes add spaces between things. So if you add, see, it stretches it out. So here we're going to remove the space. And you know what's funny? Even then, gotta love Word, it still has a weird space. So if you're like, well, okay, I did this, I removed the space, there we go. You're good. So see that? That's a much more even. It's double space. You don't have the funky. So one more time to highlight this. This is what it looks like with add the space. You have a huge weird gap. Without it, you don't. So added space without the space. So if for some reason you're struggling and you're like, what is happening? Why do I have these weird kind of uneven spacing? You're going to love this line and spacing area. A couple people have asked me about hanging indents as well. This is exactly where you're going to do that. Line spacing options, indents. When you want to do a hanging space, a hanging indent for a references page, you're going to select your font. You're going to click special. You're going to do hanging. Let's do OK. And see, this now draws this bottom part in, and that's how you would do a references page. Now, I don't want that for this, right? Because this is a paragraph and we don't want a hanging indent. So I'd go back to line space options. I'd go to none. And there we go. And then with the next sentence, just tab with your indent. Hello, and you're good. So you can have this centered right here so it lines up, and then you can have all the remaining paragraphs indented. I would encourage you to break up your paragraphs. Typically, you want 3, 5, 7 sentences. Some individuals just write full long paragraphs. It makes it hard to read. It makes it hard to edit for you. So using those indents is helpful. The last thing is if for some reason you have an indent appearing, or I'm sorry, a bullet, You don't want those. You can just use this to select them or unselect them. So hopefully you can play around with these tools a little bit. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful and short. So if you have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your next round of papers.